Hey guys, today I wanted to just share with you how I can achieve 8 or even 9% on the new Performance Max campaigns rather than just following the guidelines that Google Ads gives you. I do a few little tweaks in there to outperform the market and to use what we have in order to get the best results, because most of the time Google Ads just give you a generic template. You kind of follow the steps, you add your images, you add everything that you need, but adding the correct feed, making sure that those feeds are optimized, what's spending the most money, that might not be giving you the best return on ad spend. So currently I get a good ROI on this new campaign and I've segregated it so it's perfect for the Performance Max campaigns. So here I am in analytics, and I just wanted to show you this just so we could go over this analytics first and foremost. I'll just make this bubble a little bit smaller. Okay, so as we can see here, we're in the acquisition of Google Ads. So it's displaying here the campaigns that I have set up over the course of the last 12 months. So this is basically a feature that I've been adding on my channel, showing this music shop and the progression and how it doesn't just take a flick of the switch before you find the sweet spot. A lot of videos out there are showing how I made 9% or 900%. I think that in Google Ads it actually says 900%. But I just like to use generic terms that people understand and don't think that that's just ridiculously crazy as to achieve 900%. The other thing is you always see people saying that they spend $5 and they achieve $1,000. And even though this is possible, they just show you what you don't want to see, all of the other stuff that they've done in order to achieve that. So I'm going to show you what I've done in the past to achieve that. So here we are. If I scroll down, we can see our Google Ads campaigns that were set up over the course of the last 12 months. Now, I did do a standard shopping in between here, and you can see here, and I created a few. Now, I really wanted to give standard shopping one last chance before I disregarded it completely. And I found that the results, even though I have a really good three-way system that I've actually made a video on, or maybe I haven't made a video on that, but it's a really good system, especially for OG Google Ads shopping campaign specialists. But I'm finding that the Smart Shopping and now the Performance Max Shopping is just doing what Google wants. They want you to go a certain way. It's kind of like how you have to follow rules in life and society and whatnot. So it's basically the same thing, and I don't mess around with Google, especially when my client's money is at stake. So as you can see here, we've got Music Specialist Smart Shopping. Now this is the campaign I was running most of the time, and I was achieving really good results. And then I noticed that it started to slow down. It became quite expensive. Google always tells you to put more money in, and also tells you to put in a percentage of your return on ad spend, which is probably not the best thing to do. So I'll stop chatting about everything now and I'll move on. So let's go over to the money side of things and the percentage side of things. You can see here the return on ad spend from this campaign, which is the Smart Shopping campaign, is 3.5%. Okay, so it's not too bad. We're getting our money back. However, there is generally margins on products. I think this store in particular is between 30% margin to I think 60% margin. So depending on what they sell, that's probably not the best result. Now, if I narrow that down as to 6 months prior, I believe that was up around 6%, and the client was very happy with that. We're making money, and the expense wasn't too bad. So let's have a look at the expense now. So you can see here Google Ads costs. So $16,000 was spent in the last 12 months on this campaign. And here are the conversions. So that also means add to carts and possibly contacts and things like that. But I think this was set up to be entered their card details, added to cart, and also purchased. So that's a combined total there. And then with that Google Ads cost, you've got your total revenue. So almost $60,000. So it sounds pretty good. If you manufacture this yourself and you had, say, an 80% margin on the product, that's an excellent result. However, these are guitars and drum kits and things like that that do not have that much of a percentage profit margin. So then we started to do shopping high, shopping medium, and shopping low. It's not coming up because it didn't even get to there. Generally, you do the shopping high, so it's the top of the funnel, and basically that's all the keywords, all the products on your website, and then they filter down, and I start to tweak them and raise my bids, lower bids, exclude products, include products. And when they filter through into the medium, you start to see, okay, well, all of these product highs, so it's quite expensive to begin with, but then it filters down to the medium one because people are buying these products, so they all go into the medium. And then the medium, the winners out of the medium then go into the low. So it's a really effective tiered system. So I've had to change the game with what I'm doing now. So that's what I was doing. Then I did the smart shopping. The results were pretty good. I did a similar tiered system, but I kind of categorized the products and also the actual categories themselves. I started to put into segregated areas. Now along comes Performance Max. They say that we have to change over to Performance Max. I'm assuming this is so it goes across all of Google's products and things like that. I don't think it necessarily means that it's going to display everywhere, but I just think that they want to tick the box to say, okay, well, maybe you do have a product that will do well on YouTube. Maybe you will have a product that will do on this random website, and so on and so forth. So I'll just show you to the percentage of this. So I set up a campaign with this new Performance Max, and I called it Smart Guitars. So I segregated a campaign completely for guitars, because guitars is probably the biggest seller on the site. And I was thinking to myself, we're selling everything down to drumsticks, which are probably $15. Some guitars are about $6,000 and some guitars are about $200, right? So what I started to do was put in the higher ticket guitars into a category and created its own campaign, okay? So I created its own campaign called Smart Guitars. So it is a Performance Max Smart Guitars campaign with all of the guitars on the site that are above, I think it was above $500. Because that just helps the ROI, doesn't it? I mean, if the ticket is higher, then it's going to be a better ROI if the campaign does well. So, as opposed to selling 1,000 drumsticks and your margins, you're only making, let's say, $5 per set of drumsticks. It just doesn't make sense. You are selling a lot, but it's very low ticket item. You have to sell thousands and thousands to see profit. With that being said, that's not a bad thing, because I always like to say to clients that if you do have your a lot of sales coming through and the ROI is not fantastic, guess what else you're getting? You're getting their email address, you're getting their details. You're able to do your email marketing after that, and you're able to capture them. You're able to remarket to them. There's so many different things that happen when someone comes through to your website and makes a purchase. So let's go over to this Smart Guitars. Let's follow it along here. And here is the Smart Guitars campaign. And here is the Smart Drums campaign. And here is, excuse me. So I did do this Smart campaign and it told me to transfer it to Performance Max, which I did. I did exactly what Google wanted. So Google helped this campaign go even further. So this Smart campaign actually transferred into this Smart Guitars Performance Max. So as you can see here, Smart Guitars and Performance Max Smart Guitars. So all it's done there is converted into a Performance Max. So let's have a look at how it's doing. It cost us $954.53. And then over here, the revenue, 8,429. So it's only been going for a little while, but look at that return on ad spend. It's 8.83%. Now that's a fantastic return on ad spend. The client is over the moon. Sales are a little bit slow across the board in general at this moment with all of the fear mongering going on around the world, but this is still performing. And I'm absolutely loving it. So what I did is when this started to work with the smart guitars, which the ROI is pretty good, 7.38, it's actually really good. That started to work and I thought, I'm going to do a smart drums one now. So that was just a dummy. And we actually sacrificed the rest of the products to learn as much as we can in order to grow the website holistically. We want all of those products to be found eventually, but to just do a shotgun approach, which is the old school approach that I was talking about with the funneling, awesome, but evolution is key, and movimento é vida. As we all know, movement is life, and we need to keep moving with the times, otherwise we get left behind. So I'm always on top of these things, and I'm always telling my clients that I'm on top of it. Don't worry about it. I've got this. I'm obsessed with this. It will work. You will make money. So as you can see here, we haven't even raised the budget on this one, but there we go. There's your ad spend, and there's your revenue. Now, the Smart Drums campaign come in later, and I believe there should be a Performance Max Smart Drums campaign as well. For some reason, it's not getting filtered through into this section here. So I believe it hasn't actually transferred the data over to Performance Max yet. That's probably what's happening. But look, okay, so we're over in our Google Ads account now, and I just wanted to line it up so then you know that I'm not lying. There are a lot of people out there, as I mentioned, that are making up porcupines. But as you can see here, the cost of the ad over the last 12 months, however, it hasn't been running for 12 months, but we're lining it up with the other data. So you can see that that's 365 days. And then here you've got the cost, which is 966. And then here, Google Ads cost is Performance Max Smart Guitars 954. Now that's obviously lagging because this is Google Analytics and this is Google Ads. So the Google Ads will get the data first. Obviously, this is where we're running it from, and then that will feed into Google Analytics. Now, as you can see here, we've got online store, and purchases. So this is a Google conversion, and these are imported from Google Analytics. I feel that this is super important because then Google understands a little bit further as to what you want to achieve. I do want ads to cart. I do want people to add their credit card details, even if they don't purchase, because like I said before, I'm capturing that data. I'm able to remarket. I'm able to do so many things with that. So that is probably like a half sale in my opinion. We can capture them back. We can do email marketing if they've subscribed. There's so many things to capture that person, can give them discounts, whatever you want to do. That's another story. That's digital marketing 101. But as we can see here, we're in this campaign. This is the Performance Max Smart Guitars. And you can see here that it's that's the cost, okay? So look at the target ROAS that Google's actually suggesting. Now, I do put on automated suggestions at the moment. I didn't think that it would do 1,400%. Now, that would be 14% if we were looking before, how we were getting about 8% in Google Analytics. This is saying that we're going after 14. Now, I will change this. I'll bring it down a little bit. I still believe that we're in a phase where we need to crunch as much data as possible. Don't want to leave anything out. And I think that's a little bit aggressive from Google. And over here, you can see it's gone to 52% on this new campaign, which is really it's actually quite bad. So what I believe's happened is I didn't switch off the automated suggestions for this one, and I have for this one. Okay, because I just want to get as much data. I want this to be actually 0. I don't want to set a target yet. This one, I'll probably pull this down to 8 or 800%. because that's what we're achieving right now. So if we're achieving that, sales won't change. However, there was 2 sales today from this campaign, which was about $2,000. So, I mean, maybe I should just keep it. But anyway, I will do this. I believe that it will not be the way. So smart guitars, we'll click into this campaign and I'll show you exactly what I've done. Sorry, it's a little bit slow. Okay, so let's just have a look at we're in this feed here. We'll go to products and you should be able to see the products load up. Extremely slow. Okay, so one thing that I do suggest is when you come through here and you see your products and how many clicks you're getting, this is over the last 365 days. You can also click this columns button and you can go to conversions and add your conversions, just apply it down the bottom. Now you can see here, this one in particular, I know that this is popular. This sells all the time. So this is in my campaign for guitars because it's over that $500 mark. But then there's also some things that I just thought I'm going to throw in there, like foot switches, foot pedals for guitars, because they sell like hotcakes. They sell so many, and I think it's just one of those products. See, this one in particular has 2 sales just from a Google Analytics ads account. But the SEO that I've set up, they sell so many. I'm in first position for foot pedals, Boss or Bose, however you want to say it. Boss, I think it is. Foot pedals, and they are just smashing it in terms of their SEO organic sales. So as we can see here, Performance Max, these are all the products, and you can basically exclude a lot of these products as you go along. So we've got the smart guitars campaign, and then you can see your assets group, listings group, and extensions here. So click on listings group, and you can see here that these are the groups that I've actually set up that you can segregate. I can segregate this even more by adding a subdivision and choosing whether you want it to be a branded subdivision, which doesn't make sense in our shop, but there's so many different things. Condition is probably item ID would be the best one. Yeah. So you can add all of these as a subdivision, and make sure you scroll down to the bottom and keep scrolling because sometimes they populate a couple more. You can actually add all of these and refine it, and that's going to be my next step. But at the moment, I don't want to tamper too much with it. But if I did add this, let's just say I did, I'll cancel it. It will come under here, right, as a list, and it will have all of those products with those item IDs there. It will also show me the impressions, clicks, cost, CPC, and then what I can do is I can actually exclude the expensive ones that aren't converting or selling, and I can just keep the ones that I do want in there that are obviously selling. So I like to run the campaigns for at least 3 months before I start to refine that on that level. But as you can see, that's how you refine it. All of those products get pushed through, and they are all guitars. So as you can see here, we've got our products, and your product will be in the product group. It sounds really difficult, but it's actually not. And then as you can see here, I'll go over to the smart drums. You can see all the drums. They're just all drums. So I created a campaign that only shows the listing groups that involve acoustic drums and things like that. So if anything else does pop up along here that I'm not happy with, I'm probably not happy with this. I don't think I really want to sell music books. It's only getting 33 impressions, so I'll just leave it for now. It might be a diamond in the rough. But electronic drums, yes, I do want to sell this. This is really important. But as you can see here with the impressions, and you can always click this to see what is getting the most looks. So as you can see here, right at the top, this is probably the key point right now, is that you've got edit subdivision. Now I've created this subdivision with all of these products in there, but if I click edit, it should show me, yeah, it does. So if you scroll down, you can see all of the other products that we have on the shop. However, I've only selected drum things. Okay, so you've got to make sure that you go to product type. Okay, and if you wanted guitars in this campaign also, if you wanted to have a drum and guitar campaign, you just go guitar in the search here, and then as you can see here, you can add these groups. But the key is to keep these campaigns segregated. So basically every single category on the site, I will eventually go through and put them on there and test them. It doesn't mean that I will get amazing ROIs, but at the moment I just did it with the highest ticket per items, just to give the client a lot of bang for their buck, because they're paying for our service, but they're also paying for the Google ads. And that's probably the most effective thing, and it's most they call them quick wins in marketing, but I like to call them sustainable wins, because we've already figured out that your highest ticket items are selling, and they're selling for fun, and your ROI is fantastic, and you're making money, you can put food on the table, and we can grow from here. So that's how you add them to your campaign. You create segregated groups. And if you did want a video on this, please like, subscribe, comment. I will do a video on this if you'd like, because I believe this is the way moving forward in 2022 with the Performance Max campaigns. And yeah, feel free to drop me a line. Cheers.